What's up, guys? It's Brittany back here with another episode of all things marketing and fitness and everything in between. Today, what I'm talking to you about is something super exciting, not only just for me, but for anyone who's looking to monetize their social media and start getting paid by the things that they're posting. We're going to talk about how to get advertising and sponsorships on your social media channels. Before anybody thinks I'm nowhere near that level yet, I don't have any followers, I do want to break down a couple of facts for you. It has actually been proven that a micro influencer, that's someone with less followers than a macro influencer, someone with hundreds and thousands of followers, is more influential and gets more engagement. So even if you don't have a large following yet, you could be qualified as a micro influencer, which could still land you some good sponsorships. What qualifies you as a micro influencer? Anyone that has 1,000 followers and is more powerful than the mega influencer. So if you have more than 1,000 followers, you're already considered a micro influencer, which means you could already be landing sponsorships and advertising. And it's actually been proven that if you have a lesser following, you probably have a higher engagement. So this really stands out to different companies that are wanting to use influencers for advertising, because that's what they look for, is the engagement rate and how many people are actually not just following and liking people's posts, but commenting on the photos, asking questions like, where did you get this product? Or where did you get that outfit? Usually if you have less followers, your engagement rate is higher. So don't knock yourself out if you don't have a large following, because it could actually help you. Something else that helps you to be considered a micro influencer is if you have an expertise in a certain area. So if you have a specific niche that you know everything about, that is your expertise, people come to you often for questions about whatever area of that life is that you excel at or you have a broad knowledge of. If you're an expert in that area and people recognize that, businesses are going to notice this too. So for me, for example, my main niche ever since I started Instagram way back in college has been fitness. I've always posted about fitness videos, little health tips, my meals that I'm having and stuff. So that is my main niche. People also have sub niches, which usually people have about 3 or so sub niches. And these are smaller breakdowns into that big major niche that they're talking about. Now, here recently, personally, I've expanded and I'm talking more about marketing and social media management, because over the past 2 years in growing my own business, it's something that I've grown my knowledge on. So that kind of came naturally. And if you're still deciding your niche, this is a podcast for another day that I want to talk about, and we'll come back to it. So hold on tight, because today we're just going to talk about how to get sponsorships and those advertisements, and we'll save niche for another day. So like I said, I am going to break down step by step how to get you paid by what you're posting on your Instagram and how you can make the most of your current following. So I want to break down my process step by step. This is actually what I use whenever I reach out to people and try to land partnerships or sponsorship. And I'm going to break it all down for you right now. If you're watching my YouTube video, be on the lookout for some slides to give you some little tips and everything. And if you're listening for the podcast, of course, we're going to break it down, but go check out my YouTube video, because I'm having some visuals on there as well that are going to be super helpful in breaking down what you need to do. Like I said, 5 steps, and we're going to go ahead and jump right into it. The first thing that you need to do before trying to get any kind of sponsorship is you need to know yourself and your brand. And whenever I say know yourself, I don't necessarily mean know who you are as a person, but I mean you need to know your business. You need to know your brand and what you're trying to essentially sell to people. So within this, what you need to know is, who is your audience? Who's listening to you? What do they like to do in their free time? What are their hobbies? What are their goals that they're trying to achieve? And then even more so for that, beyond your audience, how many views are your YouTube videos get? How many comments do your posts get? What is your engagement level on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook? Do you know if your audience is primarily male or female? How many subscribers do you have? And then how many posts or videos do you make per week or per month? So I know that's a lot of questions. Break it down and ask yourself that before you try to get any sponsorships. Because if you go to somebody and ask for a sponsorship and you don't know this information, then they're probably going to write you off. You don't want to go and try to partner up with a burger joint, probably, if you're somebody who is selling how to live a keto lifestyle. You want it to be in line with what your followers are trying to do. And if they're coming to you for that education or for those tips and advice, getting a partnership with somebody who just completely does not represent your brand isn't going to make much sense, because it's not what your followers need. It's not what your audience is looking for. So whenever you're seeking out these sponsorships, it's important that you know your audience, who they are, and what your brand is trying to help them with. As we know, anytime you're trying to do any kind of sales, you're trying to solve a problem for your buyer or your seller or your follower, whatever it may be. So by knowing these questions, it's going to make it more easier for you to know who your audience is and how you can help them. So that is step number 1, know yourself and your brand. And if you don't know these questions yet, take a step back, do a little research, and then come back and listen to this again before moving on. Step number 2. What kind of products does your audience love? We already know who our audience is. We know that our primary audience in a nutshell is going to be Shelly. She's the 26-year-old young professional who's trying to lose weight, but she has a busy lifestyle. So it's hard for her to make meals that are going to help her to lose weight. It's hard for her to fit in her workout, and it's just hard for her to lose weight and stay on track. If you're somebody who is a health coach or a weight loss coach, you know that you have to get in there and help Shelly out. You have to let her know, like, hey, you've got to meal prep once a week. So set aside these few hours so that you're able to stick to your meal. You need to schedule your workouts the week before so that they're already in your schedule and you don't end up skipping the day up because you get too busy with work. So knowing your audience and what they need and what's going to help them is what's going to help you be able to get these sponsorships, as I mentioned in step number 1. So now ask yourself, what kind of products are going to help this person make their life easier? So we'll use Shelly as an example again. She's having some issues keeping on track with her meals. So what if we partnered with a meal prep company, and if you put out your discount code, you promote out them, then you know what? Shelly can go order her meals every single week and that problem is solved. So I feel like that was a really long-winded example, but that's what you need to think about whenever you're looking for the kind of products that your audience is. So ask yourself this question. Once you feel like you truly know your audience, what kind of products does your ideal follower or your audience need? What are they going to use daily? What's going to help them fix those problem areas of their lives? Ask them what can make their life easier. Ask them what they're doing in their free time. Ask what their businesses are. Ask yourself these questions and make a list of the products that you think are going to help them. And these could be products that you're probably already using and showing on your Instagram. So ask yourself, what am I using every single day that I'm showing in my stories? What are people asking me about that I might post about? And use those. Those are perfect. The things that you're already using in your daily life are perfect because it's authentic and you already truly use them and love them. So make a list of products that your audience would love. Step number 3, find contact info for your potential sponsor. So this is one that can get a little tedious at times. It is going to take the actual time to go do a little research, find the emails, find the correct contact person. You can always try to find somebody from Upwork is my go-to, but you can find a virtual assistant that can help you do this stuff, or just set aside a couple of hours a few times a week or just one day and go through and find all this. But find the contact info for potential sponsors and advertisers. So the easiest way to do this is try to find an email. A lot of times you want to find the person that's either head of marketing or head of partnerships. So go to their website, look and see if you can find anything like that. If you can't find anything that's to a direct marketing person in that business, then try to find an email that's something basic like info@companyname.com. Reach out to them, let them know you're looking for the head of marketing or somebody that's in the sponsorships or advertising area, or ask if they can get you connected with them. And then another way that you can do it is always just slide into the DMs on Instagram and you can ask if you could be directed to that person that you want to reach, or if you can get that email. So a couple of ways, but you definitely want to try to find an email that's to the marketing specifically or directly if you can. But if you can't, always go for that just basic generic info at whatever, or hello at company name, or see if you can just DM them on Instagram and if somebody can direct you to the right person that you're trying to speak to. Step number 3 is put together your email. So here we're trying to craft our email and put it all together. My biggest tips whenever crafting your email is keep it short and simple, but be precise. So you want to acknowledge them as a human. You want to quickly state why you're there, what your intentions are, and then you want to somehow compliment them in a way, and then you want to let them know your stats. So quick and to the point is always how I go. with still being a little bit of your personality. I always like to be a little bubbly in some way, and I'm going to break down my email and word for word what I send out to people so you can see that for yourself. You want to keep it precise and just get to your point quick, because we're all living busy lifestyles. They're at work. So if it goes on too much and you're talking about yourself and your personal life and how great you are, they're probably going to be like, okay, I need to move on to the next email. I am going to actually give you word for word my email that I use when I reach out to potential sponsors. So this is my example email. Usually I started off by saying, hi there. And if I have their name, I put their name. So if their name is Rebecca, I say, hi there, Rebecca. And I usually put an exclamation point just because that's how I usually talk in real life. And I like to show that I have a little bit of a personality, and I like for that to be seen in the email. If I can't find a name, then I'll usually just say, hi there. Next line down, I say, my name is Brittany, a fitness and marketing expert and host of Health and Fitness and Everything in Between podcast. So already in that first line, I've let them know my name. I let them know my expertise is fitness and marketing, and I let them know that I have a podcast. So what that's going to do is already let them know, like, okay, like this person has some kind of platform that they're using, and it's going to pique interest on maybe we could have a partnership, even though you haven't even verbalized that yet. Usually my next line, and I'm keeping this just kind of short and basic, you can always add a little bit more to it, but my next line is usually, I'm reaching out to you to inquire about this potential partnership or sponsorship. I love, enter the product name, and use it every single day, and it makes my life so much easier. I'll go down to a next line. Through all of my social media platforms, I have a combined audience of over 20,000 followers. I would love to share your product with them in hopes of getting some kind of sponsorship for them. And then I usually go down and I'll say, thank you so much. I look forward to hearing back from you soon. And I'll sign it my name. So short and simple. Every now and then, if I have a little bit more information or a little bit more of a story to tell about the product that I'm using, then I will add that in there as well, because people do love to hear about their products and how you love them. But keeping it short and simple, I quickly, within that short email, it's very short, I let them know, I treated them like a person. I let them know my name, my expertise. I let them know that I'm a host of a podcast. I told them that I was reaching out to them for a sponsorship, and that I love their product and that I use it. And be honest with this. If you've never used their product, don't reach out and ask about a partnership, because you want it to be authentic, and people can usually read whenever it's not. I then let them know that I have a following of X amount of people, and that I would love to share the product with them. And if you have something in mind for what a partnership or sponsorship would look like, feel free to write that out and let them know what it's going to be, or let them be open to it too. You can also, if a business has an affiliate program, you can recognize that and say, like, I see you have an affiliate program, but I thought for me, it might make more sense to do a sponsorship, because whatever your reason is, because of how many followers you have. And of course, if they don't always message back, you can always fall back to that affiliate program. But if you're looking for sponsorship, it makes more sense for you to get a flat rate, a flat payment, versus the affiliate program, especially if you're going to be talking about it to a large audience. That is my example email. I do have it on my YouTube channel. If anybody who's watching the podcast wants to go read that. That kind of leads me into my step 5 is just not to be afraid to reach out to new people or new companies. If you don't ask, the answer is always going to be no. We've all heard that a million times. So once you get that first email or the first couple of emails written out, it's pretty much going to be the same template that you use you're just going to have to personalize it a little bit, change the product name, change the name of the person that you're speaking to, and so on. So once you feel comfortable with your email, go back through and personalize it through the companies, through that list that we made back in, I believe it was step 2. Go back through that list and reach out to all of those people once you find that contact information and send them out. Now, chances are you might not hear from every single person that you reach out to. And again, like I said, you can always fall back to any affiliate programs that they might have on their website and use that. If you don't reach out, you're never going to know, which means the answer is always going to be no. All right, guys. Well, again, those are my 5 steps for helping you to land some sponsorships and help you to monetize your social media platforms. Because if you're already on social media every single day and you're posting and you're writing stories and you're putting out great content, why not get paid for it? So guys, try these 5 steps. Let me know what you think. And I look forward to hearing back from you, and we'll talk next week. Bye, guys.